Chattin 88s. Thank you for tuning in tonight. We're gonna have a lot of fun, that's right. Oh, every single week we have a guest. Spending time with me. I said spending time with me. I said spending time with me is the best. Oh yeah. Welcome everybody, and thank you for tuning in tonight to Chattin 88. That's right, I am your fabulous host, Curtis LaBelle, coming at you from Red Deer, Alberta. What a pleasure it is to be back in a studio with more technology now that we have some restrictions being lifted and we can have some fun on a different level again. You know, a lot of people saying it's like the 1920s coming back at you, and the excitement is a little bit much, and especially for Canadian artists now, because we are chomping at the bit in order to get live shows back in all the venues across the country. And I know Alberta is going to be opening up here July 1st with limited mask coverings and indoor concerts and outdoor concerts with restrictions lifted all around. It's a lot to take in, so it's very exciting, but we are pleased to be coming at you live again. I'm going to sing you a song. Yes, that's right. This is a new song. I've sung it once before, a couple weeks ago with our guest, Donna Marrow, and I'm excited to sing it again. This is called Your Love Tells Me So. Let's sing. Walking on the sidewalk with you, holding my hand. Never knew just what it was like, knowing that I'm your man. We were meant to be together, sharing all the time we had. Looking at the stars above and the glow that's in your eyes. Leaning in to kiss me makes that moment a surprise. We were meant to be together, sharing all the time we have. Oh yeah. It's the little things that last, don't let it slip away too fast. You're the one for me, I know. Your love tells me so. Here we go. Breaking all the rules with you is a feeling that I like. When I'm on a date with you, I know everything's alright. We were meant to be together, sharing all the time we have. Oh yeah. It's the little things that last, don't let it slip away too fast. You're the one for me, I know. Your love tells me so. Just hold on, never let me go. Yeah, just hold on, never let me go. Last, don't let it slip away too fast. You're the one for me, I know. Your love tells me it's the little things that last. Don't let it slip away too fast. You're the one for me, I know. Your love tells me so. If you just tuned in, then you missed the song, but that's okay. Our guest tonight is Poor Pelly, coming to us from some part of the eastern part of Canada. He has been looking forward to this for quite some time. I'm super excited to have him on board. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Poor Pelly! How are you, my friend?
I am so good, Curtis. Thanks for having me, man.
Oh, you are most welcome. You're looking good. You're sounding good. I'm so excited to get to know you more. I've learned a lot about you from our good friend that we have in connection with Dave. And but before we go any further, we got to find out where you're from for all of our viewers around the globe. That's right, because we're reaching people on either ends of the big pond. Tell us where you're from and a little bit about you, my friend.
I am from Oshawa, Ontario. I was born and raised here. I lived on different parts of of Canada, but I always joke that you know when you're leaving little towns and the sign says thanks for coming, see you again soon. I always joke that Oshawa should say you'll be back.
It's one of those places where you move to or you visit and then you never leave, right?
Yeah.
I can say that for the Yukon. I've been there myself, but I'm looking forward to getting out to Oshawa. My good friend, you have been playing music for quite some time now, and as a Canadian artist, you have been writing away, especially during the pandemic, and even before that. What's it been like for you being kind of cooped up and figuring out to, do new forms of music and all that? Take us down your songwriting journey and how you've been, coping with all of this that's been going on.
Well, it's funny. Like I had a full-time job that was working a lot of hours right up until that first lockdown, and so music had taken quite a bit of a backseat at the time. And it started slowing down because more and more people weren't coming to work. They were working from home. And I started writing songs at work. And the floodgates kind of opened. I started writing again. And then I was laid off for a year. And music is what really kept me going. You're kind of locked in your house. I'm lucky to have an awesome wife and a couple of fun kids. So that was helpful. And then I had I was writing music a lot, playing my guitar more than I had in years. So there's a silver lining and everything. So you're locked up, and that was tough not to see people, but I took the good with it. I got to spend a lot of time with my kids I wouldn't have got normally, and I got to spend a lot more time with my guitar, and that was nice too.
What kind of guitar do you play?
I have quite a few, and most of them were made by a local guy. A guy named Dan Carson, so Carson Guitars, and
right on.
He makes beautiful guitars right here, and he's a good friend of mine, and so I have quite a few of them actually. I've got 2 6-strings, and I got a 4-string by them.
What do you prefer to play on, the 6-string or the 4-string?
It changes all the time, and which guitar I play changes too. Like they're different. So actually, I said 2 6-strings. I have 3 6 strings by him. So
let's talk about writing. Do you prefer to write on a 6-string or to prefer to write on a lesser string?
It's funny. It happens with whatever's in my hands. Like I love new instruments because I'll bring it home and I'll start playing it, and suddenly there's something that I never thought of before, and it's just there. And that's so I love writing on different stuff. I love picking up a ukulele and playing, seeing what will come out. I love picking up a mandolin, anything. I just pick it up and see what happens. And so, yeah, I don't. Another friend of mine, my old neighbor that I grew up beside, he's making cigar box guitars, and so he gifted me one that was made out of an old bedpan. It's called a shitar, and it's a 4-string one too, and as soon as I picked it up, I started writing a song. I still haven't finished it, but it's just something that you play something new and something new comes out.
Right. Is it safe to say that you that the guitar is your home instrument?
Yes, 100%. 100%. Yeah.
So have you ever experimented with any other instruments, like a good set of spoons or the piano, for example?
I have tried spoons. I'm not very good at them. I've never been. I want to be good at spoons so bad, and I've never been able to figure it out. Piano, I've messed around with a little bit. Not very proficient at all. It's one of my things. I have one in my house. So the plan is to get my daughter some piano lessons soon, and myself at the same time.
So let's go down the blues road. What about a harmonica?
Like I got one on right here.
Oh, you have one on. Yes,
Yeah.
that's right. I'm sorry. Oh, there's... oh, my goodness gracious. Oh, I'm going to have words with our technical department at the end of the tell you. No, and you're going to be playing that for us, right?
Yeah, I'll play some harmonica for sure.
Before we do that, we have two cameras up there right now, right? We have two screens up on there. Perfect. Let's go before pandemic and take a look at some of the photos that you have. We've unearthed some performance photos, and we're still going to be able to hear you. But if you wouldn't mind giving us a little bit of, you'll see a photo come up on the screen, and let's have a little documentary explanation of that photo, where that photo was taken.
That sounds good. I'll do my best. That one, I don't know where that one was. That looks like, I think that is maybe the Mustache Club.
Peterborough?
Oh, Peterborough, the Red Dog.
Yes, that's right.
I'm glad you know.
Well, again, I have to say that we have a great technical department. The new pictures coming up now.
That one I think is the Mustache.
This will be a test. We should make this a segment for all of our guests. Where's this one from?
I'm saying Mustache Club.
Mustache Club, you are absolutely correct. Where's this next one coming from?
I feel like this is your life. That's Mustache Club for sure.
Yeah, okay. We have a couple more photos. We'll come back to them in a minute, but let's dive into, just really quickly before we dive into your song, can you take us, just tell us what it was like to be performing before we were all told we can't do this anymore? Take us down a memory lane, a quick journey of, being on stage. I know myself as an artist, being on stage in front of an audience, there's really nothing that compares to it for an artist. What's it been like for you in the past before we go into a song?
Well, I mean, performing is, you can relate. It's the greatest thing in the world when you're in front of people and sharing everything you got and people reacting to it. I mean, it's the greatest drug ever. You can never beat that. And I take a lot from it. And I like to think I give a lot to it, but I take way more from it. And I mean, I was playing a show just before, back in March of 2020, just before the big lockdown, and we knew it could be coming. It was getting worse, and so we played that show. I played it with B.A. Johnson in Oshawa, and I think we knew it was coming, and we just had, everybody that was there had a blast that night. It was just a party atmosphere because it was not even a week later, everything was shut down. So I miss it very much.
We're gonna chat more about that gentleman who you just mentioned right after your song. But before we do that, take us into this song, my dear friend. What is the name of it? Give us a little bit of a background about it, and then take it away, and then sing us this lovely tune.
Okay. This one is called "Maybe Tomorrow," and every time I say that, I start singing "Maybe Tomorrow" with the Little Hobo theme, but that's not what it is. And I was writing this during the pandemic, during the shutdown, and there was a bunch of things going through my mind, and I kind of was singing about change and changes that needed to be made, and at some point I thought I was getting preachy, and so I called it "Maybe Tomorrow."
Well, take it away, my friend.
All right. I got wheels, but we're riding them for flat slow. Crops and peers, but the ground is trying to crack low. I'm stuck here praying for rain. This train, it's rusting to the track, so money pay won't be refunded back, no. We're all just stuck in their ways. So tell me how long must we wait? Things have changed. Tell me how long must we wait? Things have changed. way. Things have changed. We need to make a change. Yeah. Hesitate, never catch a break, go procrastinate and repeat the same mistake. So tomorrow's gonna look just like today. Now tell me how long, sweet way, things have changed. Tell me how long, sweet way, things have changed. I need to make a change. Oh, maybe tomorrow.
Oh, the key of C! Thank you, my friend. Thank you.
I know.
You know what? I can't wait to get out to the eastern part of Canada. I have family out there, but I'm excited to perform out there. And I've gained so many friendships just from projects that I've been doing, you included. I just can't wait to go out and support all you guys. And the day I'm sitting in an audience watching you perform a show, especially with a hockey stick. Can you tell me about the time you performed with a hockey stick?
Yeah. It started years ago. We were in a band called I was in a band called the Kent Boys with a couple guys, and one of the guys brought in the wash tub, and we had an old tree limb kind of thing. We'd play the wash tub with it, and that band broke up, and we formed a similar band, but with we changed one guy out, and he's Brad MacArthur, who left the band. He's amazing. He just released an album, and I have it here on vinyl, and it's unbelievable. But anyways, then we formed the Stables, and we decided to go out as the Toronto Maple Leafs for a Halloween show, one of our first shows. And before the show, we were like looking at the wash tub, we're like, we should probably change that to a hockey stick. And then after we did that, we were like, clearly it is staying a hockey stick from now on. People used to say, I can't believe you're playing a wash tub. And then after the hockey stick was, I can't believe you're playing a hockey stick.
Let's bring that picture up one more time so we can all see that hockey stick pose. Oh, and you can see right there all the good times that have been had, and we're so looking forward to getting back to those good times, Pelly.
Yeah.
Speaking of good times, there's memories made, there is connections made, especially with teachers and mentors. Take us down. Let's talk. You mentioned a gentleman's name before you sang that great song of yours. Let's talk about him. Let's introduce his name again, and kind of let's get the viewers to know who he is. And we have a couple pictures we're going to share as well, just kind of on the journey of it. So bring us down that memory lane, and who's been a mentor to you?
Yeah. This is an old friend of mine named Glenn Bensley, the lap dog Glenn Bensley. There he is. He was one of the first guys I met in Oshawa in the music scene. He hosted an open stage that a friend suggested I go to, and we hit it off right away, and we became good friends, and had a lot of good times. Unfortunately, he passed away. Geez, it was quite a while ago now, but we still miss him every day. And he was a legend on many different things, and he left us a lot, so many stories that we never stopped talking about him.
What if you could think of a moment where he gave you an option, not an option, but gave you the opportunity to express yourself as an artist and just truly what he meant to you?
Well, he was a guy that I think at 52 or something like that, like he decided, he was like, I can't remember what he did for a job. He was an engineer or something. I can't remember now, but he had decided like, no more. He's going to play music. And so when I met him, he was hosting open stages in Oshawa and kind of making his living playing the odd gigs and stuff like that. And he was a mentor for sure.
It sounds like this gentleman was a legacy, left a legacy, has really made an impact on a lot of artists' lives. And I'm sure we bring up those couple of pictures. Let's talk about red shoes. What's the story of the red shoes?
All he wore was red Chucks. That was his thing. He wore red Chucks everywhere he went. That was it. When he passed away, coming up to his funeral, you could not find a pair of red Chucks anywhere in this town. Like, we talked to people that went out to buy them because everyone wore them to the funeral. That's all people wore. And the funeral was, it was in a funeral home that had like 4 or 5 different rooms, and they had no idea what was coming. Every single room was full. Like, they had to put TVs in each room because it was just, they had no idea. And talking to people looking for the shoes to come, they're like, we called everywhere. Nobody has any left.
There was a question thrown at me that I didn't hear correctly. What is family?
What is his family?
What does your family think of it?
Of my music?
Well, of the whole process with your connection with this gentleman and the red shoes and all of that.
Yeah, I mean, they all knew who he was. Everybody around here knew who he was, especially if you knew someone playing around, everybody knew him.
So it's safe to say that if you all ran out of red Chucks, people were painting shoes, correct?
Yes, I'm positive that happened. Like, people actually took white Chucks and painted them red.
And so being that you're from Oshawa, it's such a musical experience when you're there. Is it a family of musicians? Is it you guys are all right there to support each other?
Yeah. I mean, a couple of years ago, it's probably still like that. I mean, I used to host open stages as well around the town, and it was a real community. Everybody was in love with each other. Like, everyone loved each other's music, and it was just a unbelievable supportive thing. There was something in the water. There's so many great musicians, songwriters around here. They're still coming out. Look, Crown Lands is blowing up right now. They're from Oshawa. I could go on forever about all the great musicians around here.
It sounds like my kind of experience because it's a singer-songwriter's experience, being that you guys all focus on original music. Is that safe to say?
That is very safe to say. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the day that I come into Oshawa and we celebrate each other's music. My friend, I cannot wait.
I can't wait.
Speaking of celebrating each other's music, you have a second song for us, and let's put it out to anybody. Let's make this song for everybody in Oshawa that has supported the community. Everybody that is watching right now, sing this song. Tell us what it is, and take us on a journey of memory, hope, light, and to the future, and for anybody that is passed on, if you will.
All right, that sounds good. So, and the people from around here that support, that's a large group, and we love you for it. But this song, some of the people around here have heard this one. It's a newer song, but it's called Null and Void. The Irreversible Binomials song. I got obsessed with irreversible binomials. I'm not sure if you know what those are, but I'll give you a hint. If you don't, listen and learn. This is the Irreversible Binomial song.
Take it away.
From start to finish, through the wind and the rain, through the thick and the thin, through the heartache and pain. I go head over heels, I'll do it hand over fist, just to piss them on, just to shoot shit. From the morning till night, and from dusk till dawn, I cease and desist your list of pros and cons. I'll make it loud and clear, I'm just a singer of songs. That's what I'll be till I'm dead and gone. So right or wrong, you got an aid and a bet. Oh, I can't conceal, never forgive and forget. Oh, the quick and the dead, well, that's just cause and effect. So I shoot to kill, because it's life or death. In war and peace, and in love and hate, and in victory or defeat, it's all just give and take. So big heads and tails, carry that weight. It's our cops and robbers, it's our church and state. And it's do or die, so pick and choose between truth and lies, between me and you. For better or worse, well, it's just endless testimonials. Cause it's all chapter and verse, all irreversible binomials. Not to whine and complain on my friends and foes, but I stress and strain over all the do's and the don'ts. But again and again, okay, first and foremost, that gives me aches and pains, cause that's reversible prose, because forwards and reverse, it's the same back and forth, comes in little by little, then creeps in more and more. Am I okay with that? The truth be told, it's neck and neck, and it's yes and no. And it's do or die, so pick and choose between truth and lies, between me and you. For better or worse, well, it's just endless testimonials. Cause it's all chapter and verse, all irreversible binomials. Well, Curtis, I was playing a show not too long ago doing this. It's around the campfire, actually. And one of the people there, my friend Doug, said, "Hey, Pelly, singing all these irreversible binomials. Don't you know nothing about trinomials?" He had the gall to ask me about trinomials. I said, "Thank you for your comments, questions, and concerns." And the version of the trinomials go like this. Well, I try to stay calm, cool, and collected. Try to be healthy, wealthy, and wise. But here, there, and everywhere, it's a deaf, dumb, and blind. So it's hook, line, and sinker. Mind, body, and soul. The judge, jury, and executioner. The sex, drugs, sex, rattle, rock and roll. And it's do or die. So pick and choose between truth and lies, between me and you. For better or worse, well, it's just endless testimonials. Cause it's all chapter and verse, all irreversible binomials. So it's all or nothing in this ebb and flow. It all sticks and stones, it all skin and bones. Ignore the signs and symptoms, you know it's sad but true. Come at me rough and tumble, come out of it black and blue. And through, all my sons and daughters come hella high water, and dollar for dollar, and 1 cent for all. And every now and then I'll call it null and void, from beginning to end. And it's do or die, so pick and choose between truth and lies, between me and you. For better or worse, well, pandemonium. Cause it's all chapter and verse, all irreversible binomials.
Oh, binomials! The lesson has been taught. Bensley is up there rocking away, listening to you jam out on your lovely 6-string, right?
That's right.
And picture, can you just hold that picture closer to the camera?
Yeah.
Bensley!
Hey,
Oh, what an experience it has been. A couple more things I want to kind of chat with you about before we head out here for the night. Doug from Peterborough. Tell me about him really quick.
Dougie's from Omimi, which is really close to Peterborough. Doug's an old friend of mine. He's got a 55-acre farm that we often we spent most of the lockdown. He was part of my bubble. So he was the one guy we really, him and his family were the one, our families were the only ones that would really mix too much, right? And so we worked on our vans. I have a 1958 Volkswagen bus, and he has I think it's a 1964 Ford Econoline. So yeah, we worked on our trucks together and just kind of hung in, drank beer, and played music. Doug's an awesome songwriter and a great guy to be around.
You know what? The best touring vehicles you possibly could have. I know I'm going on tour next year and we're going to make our way out to Oshawa, but I'm not so sure I'm going to be driving a Volkswagen. The maintenance could be hard, but I don't know.
We'll take you for a ride in mine. It works good right now because Doug helped me.
Oh, I'm going to hold you to that. And if Dave gets his way, he'll probably be there with me.
I hope so. Dave, you better come.
Listen, one more question before I kind of dive into a personal question for you. Yeah. You've written a song in the key of C that you performed, and you've written a song in the key of G. What is your favorite key to write a song in?
I don't know if I have a favorite, but I'll tell you, a lot of them are in G. Or even if they're capoed up and it's still in that form of G for some reason. You know? Well,
you know what? It's a home key that's accessible for a string instrument, so that's okay. I'll let you have that one. Let's not get serious, but you're going through. You're in a position right now to be making some decisions as an artist, and between being a hobby, a profession, reliving a dream that you have once already lived, and wanting to pursue that as the fulfillment of being a living your passion as a musician. What's that been like for you for the last little bit? And that I don't want to say struggle, but where are you with your priorities right now?
It's tough, we talked to, I have a wife and 2 kids in a house, and you want to do the best for your kids. And, when we were touring back in the days and we were always on the road, we were lucky when we broke even. We never made money doing it. We all, one of the guys in the band, Clarky, he had a kid first, and then I had a kid, and things changed, right? You have to start making more money. And I was lucky to get into a decent career. It was nothing that ever really interested me. Only music did, but it was something to make some decent money. And I was lucky. I did really well at it. I had a lot of lucky, friendly people that helped me along the way there. And but now I'm back at it again after that year of lockdown and being laid off. And I got into a supervisor position, and it's a good job. The pay is good, but I'm miserable. It's not what I want to do. There's so many good people that work there, but none of them want to talk about like Chris Christopherson and John Prine. I don't know how to relate to it. There's a lot of ego, and it needs to be there for these jobs to get done right. And but I just don't have it. I don't really. I just can't. I can't get into it. I do my best. I think I'm doing my job good, but I'm not. I don't know. I don't have something those people have.
Well, I can certainly relate to what you're going through and your re-experience of making some major decisions and following paths and that sort of thing. But let's hope this maybe that your boss is watching and he'll give you a severance package and support you on your dream of continuing to be a musician, traveling around the country in that lovely Volkswagen that you have, which I'm looking forward to enjoying a nice light beverage in there with you, my friend.
Actually, I will tell you quickly, Curtis, that I'm going to put that bus up for sale, and because it's worth some good money. Buses are.
Oh, don't you hold out on me! Look, I'm coming in this summer of next year. If that bus is gone, we're going to go out and we're going to find a bus and we're going to enjoy
Curtis,
it.
I think you'll like the reason why, though. If I sell that bus, that money's going to go towards recording a new album. So that's the reason why.
Okay, I support that decision 100%. I totally support that decision. Listen, I have one question for you, Pelly.
Hit it.
If your 5-year-old self was standing in front of you right now, what piece of advice would you give him?
I think it would be to never stray, never give up, never settle. I think that's what I'd look at. Like I look at my son and my daughter looking at me, and I think they know I'm miserable with what I'm doing. And they weren't a big part of it when I was playing music and touring because they weren't born yet. They know I did it. They have heard the music and stuff, but they often ask why I don't do it anymore, and I say because of you. No, I'm just kidding. No,
it's definitely a journey as an artist. I will say this. A lot of people. In my opinion, I think being an artist on any level is the hardest profession in the world.
Yeah.
I truly do. And that's just my opinion, so don't believe a word I say. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest tonight is Poor Pelly. Thank you so much for being here. Do you have any last pieces of information you would like to share with us?
I just want to let you know how much I enjoyed this, and it was more fun than I even thought it was going to be. So thank you so much for having me. I've been really looking forward to it, and what a pleasure it was. Thank you so much.
You are most welcome. Our lovely technician is going to slide the blue slider over on your screen and take you out of the shot, but do not leave the feed. We will come back to you after we are done the show. Pelly, thank you so much for joining us. Bensley, thank you for listening and supporting this gentleman on his journey. And everybody, make sure you wear red shoes. Say goodbye to Pelly. Thank you so much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning in now, that's okay, because you can join us next week, and you can also rewatch this lovely show with our guest tonight, Poor Pelly. I thank you for tuning in tonight. We've had a lot of fun, that's right. Oh, every single week we have a guest for spending time with me. Oh, spending time with me. Oh, spending time with me is the best. Next week we have Wickland versus Wickland. Tune in 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. See you then.